In Warhammer 40k, there was once a faction named Dicus Maximus, but now it is named Vaginus Maximus. Neither of those words are in the Constitution or the Bible. They did this because of woke feminist Nazi feminazi agenda. Why else? This actually never happened. Not only that, Nazis did not hold feminist views. Unless you had connections with the top. I sure wonder if Nazi ideals are inherently inconsistent with the human psychology, but whatever. For our information on the Warhammer 40k issue, we will later watch a famous person everyone hates, the Quartering. I would have named my channel The Fartning, but that fits too. The Quartering calls himself a liberal conservative. Like all of conservative popular media personalities, they participate in this culture war against feminism, gay people and trans people. Feminism literally gave women the right to vote. But when you confront them with that, they say, actually, I'm against this new woke feminism. What woke feminism, who knows? The faction name is actually Adeptus Custodes, not Dicus Maximus. What happened was that the new figurine line featured female custodians, which really never happened before. It was hinted they were male only, but never said outright. Someone said why on Twitter. The Warhammer community manager replied with, "Since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians." Okay. This caused anti-feminist outrage. With a lot of weird fucking replies. Yes, women are literally communism, thank you. Women are literally cartoon horses too. Once again, the lore only really hinted at Custodes being male, but even then you have to understand that Warhammer is a table game with constant updates. It gets right in retcons. What I assume happened at the studio is that some department responsible for that thought, some people want female figurines for this faction, let's do it. And they rolled with it. Yes, if you believe actual fans and not grifters, the application seems to be tacked on. This is what happens with profit-driven companies. They choose profit. It also could have been just a retcon, made not because of advertisers, but writers wanting female custodes. The reason the phrasing of the tweet is like that is because when a retcon happens, the writer essentially says, it always has been like this. But if you hate women and see everything as a culture war against white men, you will see it as an intrusion on your rights. Another battle against men. Because men exist. And as everyone knows, women are literally communism and cartoon horses. That's the reason most of the tweets are acting so offended. They see a lazy writing retcon as war, with outsiders adding to the flame. Wait, is this guy's fucking name Woman Definer? So, I did not fucking notice that earlier. Clearly, they're doing this because they care about the game, and nothing else. I was talking about the fact that these people specifically seek out games to get mad at. Pretty liberal of them, eh? Remember that back in 2007, nobody cared about making white characters black, or men women. It's after 2014 Gamergate, some insecure men were mobilized to be like this. There is nothing natural about this opinion, it was fabricated and then spread by 2014 YouTubers and Nazis. For profit or perversion of the mind. It's usually a mix of both. While it is true that today companies are being more progressive, it is greatly exaggerated by these people. Whenever something progressive adjacent, like women or trans people, appears in some media, out of completely unrelated outsiders start boiling their piss over it like in a pagan recipe. Even a non-issue as minor as this one caused fake outrage a month ago. It was so big every single person involved in tabletop games knows about this. The rhetorical logistics of people who do this have been built since 2016 because of Gamergate. If you want to learn how it happened, I recommend you watch this video. What these people do is they say they're centrist or conservative or just asking questions, but in reality they're fascists again. Conservatism is not a real ideology. The fascist thinks that all of their problems would be fixed if their contradictory beliefs will come true, but no. Our problems don't come from black people, white people, Jewish women or trans people. They claim to be strong, yet start loudly sobbing and cry bullying the second they see pronouns.
Fucking pronouns!
It genuinely saddens me that some people do this instead of therapy. As another example of selective outrage, we can go to something else that will be forgotten in 2 months. If you're watching from the future, hello! What is going on right now is that the new Assassin's Creed trailer features a black main character. He is based on a real person, Yasuke. He was a black samurai under Oda Nobunaga. From what I've heard, in modern Japan, this part of history is taught as an example of acceptance and inclusivity. Yasuke was also said to be muscular and taller than everyone else, so it makes sense to make him one of the protagonists of a 2-protagonist game. The second protagonist will be a woman, who seems to be more discreet. It's a nice contrast between an elite foreign warrior and a discreet village woman. I don't have any hope in any Ubisoft game, and I don't like Assassin's Creed. The problem is that right-wingers pretend that it somehow will ruin the entire franchise, and that they should have made a different game in Africa to actually respect black people, which is 1. Hilarious and racist thing only a 14-year-old mom's basement dweller could suggest. 2. Also applies to white people. 3. Assassin's Creed in Africa already exists. Oh my god, it's almost as if they never played any of the games! Oh wow! If I don't care about Assassin's Creed, yet I know this, what does this say about these people who cannot remember what happened 6 years ago? Sadly, if you're from the incel mind state, black people make you angry. This also hits harder because incels fetishize Japan as this heaven of traditional values. Not because it is, but because incels like Japanese porn. That's it. Not only that, most incels specifically view a lot of interracial cuckoldry that fetishizes black men. This is because sexual insecurity is one of the foundations of fascism. Racists almost always have kinks like that. Currently, no outright brony on Twitter compared black people existing to cartoon zebras existing. But I will wait. But yes, these right-wingers are trying to delegitimize Yasuke and claim that the Japanese actually do not like Yasuke or Summon. All of this will be forgotten in a month. They Google translate some of their comments into Japanese and Goon. Most of actual Japanese are either positive about this because Yasuke is cool, or they simply don't care. Also, just as an addition, Russian comments are significantly more racist than the English ones. Also yes, by the Russian white man understanding of biology, GTA San Andreas invented black people. Let's get to the quarterly already. Let's watch a video on the Warhammer issue. I'm sure he would be able to cite high quality sources and get the lore correctly. And pronounce the Latin name of the faction correctly.
Well, we all saw it coming. Warhammer, of course, getting woke, just like all the great video games and board games of our time. I also often lament how lame games like Magic the Gathering have gotten since they decided to embrace political ideologies and care more about having enough trans representation in their fictional video game or fictional card game. Coincidentally, 3 of the top 4 stockholders in Game Workshop are BlackRock and Vanguard Group, I believe. We're going to take a look at that. So you knew it was coming. These woke ESG companies invest, and of course, now we get it. The game's all-male Adaptus Custodes faction, Custodes or Custodes, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Codex Adaptus Custodes. Elaborating this brief bit alone. So essentially, look, they weren't women. People in the comments just absolutely crushing them. Look at this.
Yeah, I remember.
They answer to, you know, places like BlackRock and other places like that. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
What the fuck is that outro screen? What if he says Latin words incorrectly because he associates them with Latinos? And that's bad. But alright, the reason why I chose the Farting Forces specifically is because he isn't as deranged as other YouTubers holding this position. You don't need to learn 5 billion slurs to understand him. He just outright demonstrates the hustle, the grind. The reason I'm also technically participating in this culture war on the side of the culture is because it's a good device to deconstruct this weird authoritarian rhetoric. There's the active side after all. Also, being honest, I need Patreon money. I am funded by God, but not monetarily. Do donate to me. And subscribe for more CD videos. Also yes, before you ask, I am a horse in real life. Do join my Discord server. Thank you Marzala for being the first person to donate to this channel. Your money will be used in the woke war. Only good thing I have received out of reviewing this is this picture I got from clicking on this person's reply. It's beautiful, isn't it? While doing the previous video, I found this picture. The third picture in the next video will grant me several wishes. Wait, I just realized, is that a woman?